So here we go, number 5. Wave number 5, one of my favorites, augmented humanity. So augmented reality is when you are able to, let's say, look at your iPhone and the video is on and you're able to see everyone in this room, but the names of everyone is above their heads and what they do and how they're doing it is all showing up there. That's reality plus. It's where we're actually able to get more information than we could otherwise. If you haven't yet used Google Goggles on your iPhone or on your Android, you should use it, because that's when you can take a photo of anything and then it will tell you what this thing is and basically what the history of it is as well. Or even the translate version on there where you can have anyone talk to you and you can listen to them in their language or in your language. This is all about augmented reality. Augmented humanity is when we do the same with human beings. So Eric Schmidt, this time last year, September the 7th, he said, welcome to the age of augmented humanity. He says that everything that they are doing in Google is preparing for this age of augmented humanity, where we have the collection of technology around us to make us more human than we currently are. And if we look at that in a very literal sense, one of the people that I met in Silicon Valley, he runs a company called Berkeley Bionics, which has been contracted by the Army to create these exoskeletons, which actually you don't even feel you're really wearing, but it can sense when you're moving, and it puts so much power to help you move that you can lift 10 times more than you normally lift. So when you're going like this, you can just take something 10 times heavier and just lift it, and it feels like just the same as if you were lifting something 1/10 of the weight, because it actually can sense it and then it supports it. Brilliant for the gym. Okay. But this is something where he did this for war and thought there must be a better use of technology than just for people to kill each other in war. So when I was there, I met someone called Sean. He's in this image here as well. Sean had a motorbike accident when he was a teenager. He, as a result of the motorbike accident, lost the use of his legs. He was in a wheelchair, and he was told he'd be in a wheelchair the rest of his life. He became one of the first to use this super suit, which he wears and allows him to walk again, which means he no longer needs a wheelchair. And when we were there, Berkeley Bionics got on stage and gave us all the statistics of the number of people in wheelchairs around the world who would no longer need to be in wheelchairs if they didn't want to be, because they would be able to have an exoskeleton like this that allows them to walk again. He walked around and he gave his expression of just how he never even imagined this was going to be possible. But now, as a result of this, his biggest dream is not even about what he can do with his life. It's the fact that the vast majority of those who are disabled in developing countries can't go anywhere, because even if they had a wheelchair, which they don't, the places where they live aren't able to support a wheelchair anyway. So as a result of this, he's got something which can shift the lives of 300 million people, which is how many wheelchair users there are around the world right now. So we have the ability to transform the world, not just with the technology, but with whoever is leading that technology, applying their consciousness in the right way, because he didn't have to do this. But this is where, for me, this idea of us actually improving is really taking on quite an incredible shape. You might have heard of the runner in South Africa who lost his legs and now has artificial legs and is competing in the Olympics. So they were talking about that in Silicon Valley as well, which is that the augmented Olympics is only so many years away, where you're going to have many people who are going to actually be allowed to have augmented body parts in order to be able to compete. And it's only a matter of time before the augmented Olympics will have records which are far in excess of the performance that human beings who haven't been augmented would be able to achieve. So this is all coming our way, and that's on the literal side. Here it is on a very practical side, how you go about being an entrepreneur. Because when you augment yourself as an entrepreneur, you no longer limit yourself by your own skill sets. You realize that everything out there is available for you immediately and practically at no cost. So for example, you might, after today, decide you're going to start a new business. You might decide on their business you're going to have a logo. And whereas before you'd have to figure out how you go about briefing someone on a logo, getting a designer to come in, briefing on the logo, having a whole set of them and not even sure how to explain to them it's not what you wanted in the first place, and now having to pay for them or else they're not going to work further for you. Instead you go to Logo Tournament. So logotournament.com here. Logo Tournament allows you to go in and see all the tournaments where designers all around the world are competing for as low as, in this case, $275, where the only person that gets paid is the winner. And you can have hundreds of people competing for it, because frankly, $275 goes a long way in Indonesia or Russia or in many countries where that becomes their entire pay for the year, for the month. So they're more than happy to put a lot of effort and time into it and then to win once in a while. And in this case, when you have the competition start up, you can go to anyone else's competition. Here I've gone to Embrace, which happens to be a women's group that is setting up a membership club for the empowerment of women. So they wanted to have a logo. They come, first of all, to the briefing, where you may not have known that, in fact, when you're designing a logo, it helps for the designer to know, is it more feminine or masculine? Is it more subtle or bright? Is it more quiet or loud? Expensive or economical? There's a whole bunch of sliders that you just move until it feels right for you, so that is already giving the designer a brief which you don't have to figure out for yourself. So one of the biggest reasons that most of us don't go out and get the website we need or get the payment gateway we need is we don't even know how to brief the person that we're going to have to come in to help us. Whereas now, with these kind of sites, you don't have to know. You can go and see which ones are most successful, how much they pay for it, and you can go and read their brief to see what they did. Copy and paste the best that you like, and now you've got the ability to go at world-class level and attract anyone at any level. So here, you can also go and look at Embrace's different logos, and you can go and rank it on an Embrace here ranks it. If you rank it like twice or 3 times an hour if you wanted to, over the 5 days of the program, they get constant feedback, not just the ones who are winning, but all the others who are looking at the program as well. And you also get a better feel intuitively as to which ones you like. So you don't have to be perfect at being able to articulate which ones you like. You just have to know that by going back and giving constant feedback, you're going to get something much more like you want. This idea of being able to do this goes beyond that. Many of you have used 99 Designs. This is CrowdSpring, which is one of the US's biggest one, where if you want to design anything from brochures to leaflets to business cards, you're going to find designers here competing with each other, where the best always rise to the top. And again, like I said, they're all working for you even before you've even paid the money for the winner. You can find the same when it comes to places like Elance. So, for example, in our business now, whereas before we had a really big team, 2 years ago, I changed all my businesses to say I want to be able to run all of my businesses from one screen of one iPad sitting on a beach in Bali. That is my objective. That I want to be able to do that. So I changed all my systems. So I started using QuickBooks Online, which is our accounting system, where I can get everything there when I need it. Using Salesforce as our CRM system, so I can see every email in and out whenever I need to, and all the stats behind it. And using all of the different structures and systems online, which allows us to get all that information in real time without us having to pay any more than the monthly subscription to use these services. And then with the likes of Elance, we've had everything from the way we do our AdWords, to the way that we set up our websites, to the way we do our accounts in the first place, and a whole series of different little things that need good experts, where we don't go and try and hire someone who isn't an expert. We go out and we're happy to have them from anywhere in the world, and then Elance provides us with a structure to be able to follow along as well. When you're looking for someone, you don't even look for a name. You just go in and say, right, if I know I want someone who's going to help me to change my pricing on my products, then I'm going to go in and search for jobs like that, where the ones that are rising to the top, I'll go and look and see who are the people who are active, who are in there, how much are they quoting for it, so you know what the price points are. And there's no excuse ever for not using the best in the world in your business, because it's not about the cost and it's not about the knowledge. It's simply about going to the right place and the right environment where they're already hanging out. So augmented humanity is about you augmenting your ability as an entrepreneur to be able to wake up every morning with all the top experts in the world already working on your behalf, or frankly just waiting for the call from you.